Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back once again to my world of Insta conversations. How is everyone? Guys, today I'm super excited because I have somebody coming in from Bob's team and I'm such a huge fan. I am really looking forward for this interview. So without any further delay, let me bring it in and we shall take it from there. You're all set. I'm just bringing him in. I'm just connecting with him. Just give me a few seconds. Just getting situated. We're all set. Excited. Alrighty, he's in the house, guys. Let's go live. We are just connecting and we will take it from there.
Hey Mewis, how's it going?
Hey, how are ya?
I'm very, very good. How you feeling today?
I am feeling on top of the world.
That's the spirit. That's the right spirit.
Okay, so before we dive into our conversation, a little introduction about yourself, your name, where you're from, and then we'll just head from there.
Sure, sure. My name's Favor. I am a Bob Proctor consultant. I've been working now with Bob for about 5 months, and it's very, very beautiful. From Arlington, Virginia, and yeah, man, born and raised Nigeria. I actually came to the U.S. when I was a kid, so been here for about 15 years now, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow, that's so great. So tell me, what led you to join Bob's team?
So as a Proctor Gallagher consultant, it was actually pretty random. Just being very passionate about personal development, because you start developing yourself, and something actually happened to me. My first business success was I was struggling from months to months, not being able to succeed, and then I started working on myself, studying Bob Proctor's material even before I joined the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and then I with that material, I had an explosion in my business. So like some months after that, I got an email saying, "Hey, we want you to join the Proctor Gallagher Institute as a consultant."
Woohoo!
And I was like,
Mm.
I don't see why not, man. Okay. And then I just joined. I actually made a story about that. Just joined.
Wow, big shout out to you for that first. And like you said, I've been following Bob myself for what now, 8, 9 months,
Right.
and I didn't find him on Instagram first. I came across his video on YouTube, and I was like, I like this guy. So I started listening to a few of his videos with the paradigm shift, and I liked his theory, and I was like, that's interesting. It kind of like clicks what he's saying. It makes sense what he's saying. So I started listening to him, and then of course on Instagram I started following him, and all his work that he does, it's so amazing. It's so inspiring. Just going to his page and reading what he posts every day is just an inspiration in itself. So I can't imagine that being a part of that team, where it would take people to. So, since you're already in the team, talk about your work structure or people who are interested in joining. How does that work so they can get a more clear idea about it?
Like to be a consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute.
No. So what basically, if I wanted to come, I wanted to work with you, what are you offering me? So like, how does the program work?
Okay, so like with the programmer, like Bob has he has thousands of programs out there, Like Bob has been,
Okay.
I like to call him Grandpa Bob. Like when I see Bob, I'm like Pops. But he's been here for over 60 years. So, he
Wow.
has thousands of programs out there. But the main
Mm-hmm.
program that we consultants focus on is that we focus on helping specific people who are trying to accumulate success and live a different lifestyle, think a certain way into the success that they desire, because it all starts from thoughts. Thoughts are things, and we literally become what we think about. So the
Mm-hmm.
program that we give is Thinking into Results by Bob Proctor. And what the program does is that it helps every individual. Like a person might have a goal. Like there are tons of people watching this live videos, and I'm very, very confident that most of you guys watching this live video, you have a goal and you don't know how to accomplish it. And the problem is that people look at their goals and they get afraid, and they don't even take action. And some people don't know how in the world they're even gonna achieve the goal. The purpose of the program is to help individuals actually think into results, using their thoughts to attract to them the success. So it's kind of like just flowing to success, not even doing any hard work at all, because it all starts with thoughts.
Interesting. Wow, that's strong. And somebody's asking in the comments, who's Bob? Do you want to tell them that they don't know who Bob
Wow,
is?
you don't know who Bob Proctor
Yeah,
is?
I
Oh
know, right?
man, wow!
You're
If you
missing
don't know
out a
who
lot.
you're missing out, man. You're missing out.
Mm,
Bob
mm,
Proctor is he's the leading mindset inspirational. I he's he will change your life. The question I would like
mm,
to ask whoever who asked that question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your results? If you're not
mm.
satisfied with your results, right? If your answer is no, go on Instagram and type in Bob Proctor, because he literally will change your life.
Mhm. Right, right. Okay, since this is my favorite topic, so I want you to elaborate a little bit for the audience is what is the paradigm shift?
The paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to answer that question, I think the first thing I'm going to say is, first of all, we have to define a paradigm. You know,
Okay.
and my definition I like to say is that a paradigm is just simply a multitude of habits that are located in our subconscious mind, and this multitude of habits is what give us the results that we have in our life. So it's kind of like, let's say that a person who is fat and wants to lose weight, but then they keep eating ice cream and they know they're not supposed to do that because it will lead to a negative result. They consciously know they shouldn't do that, but they keep doing it. That itself is a paradigm, because it's controlling their habits. So a paradigm shift is basically changing this multitude of habits in our subconscious mind that is giving us the results in this world that we don't like, that we don't want. So we want a new set of results, a new set of reality, changing this mental program and rewriting a program in our subconscious mind that will give us a different result.
Okay, so it all comes down to again the mindset of a person, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so let me ask you, let's say if I were to approach you and say, since you're a consultant, and say, I want help with XYZ. Let's say when you had a conversation with me, you could, do you see or can you tell from that conversation with your client that whether they are there where they're going to change the mindset, or if the mindset is stuck at where it's not going to go forward, do you still take on them, or how does that work?
First of all, everybody can change. Everybody can change. It's like two things. A person might wish to change, but a person might desire to change. Now, you see, I love to help people, but I could only help people if they're willing to help me help them. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
if a person is wishing for change, Napoleon Hill says that you can wish for success or you can desire success. Wishing for success will not do you anything. You have to desire something so bad that the desire becomes an obsession. That's what he says in Think and Grow Rich. It becomes an obsession. So if I was to work with somebody, the first thing I ask is, what do you really want? Like, what do you absolutely want? Because desire from the heart gives energy to create the manifestation. So when you desire something so bad, you don't need the energy, because the energy is coming from you and it's oozing out, because this is the desire that is coming from your mind, and you're moving into action to create the manifestation. So I'll ask, what do you want? So once you figure out what you want, once we help you figure out what you want, then we take the limits, the paradigm that is giving you the limitations, we remove the limits, and then we build a new paradigm, a new self-image that will perform and move you into action up to this new programming to create the reality.
Right, right. And somebody's saying, "What's up, King?"
What's up? What's up, Quano Flex?
So, so now, what So let's say right now for the people who are listening, because I know about, of course, I know you and I know about the whole program, but for people who are just getting familiar with this, talk about your story, talk about how you transformed being in Bob's Institute, how it transformed your life, and in what area did it transform you? I think it's your business, if I'm not wrong.
First of all, right, it's I'm going to talk about my mindset, right?
Okay.
Like whenever I approach my goals now, right, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
there's a lady who's in the Proctor Gallagher Institute as well. Her name is Kathleen, and Kathleen put a post a couple of days ago. She's like, whenever I write goals, I look at goals as shopping lists. Because it's
Ooh.
just imagine you writing down a goal, and you're like, my goal right now is to buy a Lamborghini, and it's not a dream, it's a shopping list. Because literally, once
Mm-hmm.
you have this mindset of no limitation, and you know that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve, and you really know that, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know that whatever it is that you set in front of you, the only limitation that is actually real are the limitation that you place in your own head. So working with Bob and everything, the best thing that it has done for me is allowed me and given me the ability to know that there really is not, that there's no limitations. No limitation. Like my first business success was so big, and it was it was really really like it was it was too big to take in, because of Bob Proctor, that I literally had to accept the invitation to come here. And then I started setting myself new goals in this industry, and I'm working towards achieving those goals with the same material that I used with my first business success. And it's just kind of like, a friend of mine once said that people don't have personal problems. People don't have business problems. They have personal problems. So when you develop yourself personally, everything just falls into place. It all starts with what you think, how you think, and the way that you let your surroundings control your thoughts.
Yeah, and you're so right on that, that your personal experiences are basically defining all your aspects about life, because people who go through trauma, or people who suffer through abuse, they become so victimized that they can't really grow in any aspect of their life, even in their relationships, even in their workplace, because they're just stuck with that idea that why did that happen to me. So I know, because see, I interview a lot of survivors, so I see how, like you're talking about, the mind shift for them in the beginning was where they felt they were the victim, and they couldn't move forward because they thought that there was no hope for them. It is when their awakening happened, and they took that shift and saying, no, there's something wrong, I gotta. And that's where they ran out and they got out of that abusive relationship, and life totally changed for them. So I think that that resonates so much when you say that your personal uh, growth is so important, because that takes care of everything, right?
Most definitely, most definitely. Like you're very very right about that. And the thing is that you know, we see with our eyes, and when we see with our eyes, we use our conscious mind to perceive what we're seeing. And the thing is that, like, let's say that somebody goes through something, right?
Hmm.
When they're moving through reality, they start to use their conscious mind to reason And that's the reason with your conscious mind, your subconscious mind gets emotionally involved and your body feels and their body moves into action based on the feeling that the body is feeling. So if a person is thinking negative, like let's say for everybody watching this live video now, right? Let's say that for
Mm-hmm.
you guys have goals and you're looking at your goals, you're looking at the lifestyle that you want to live, or maybe you've been through some negative things in your past, and now you're thinking about this same negative thoughts in your head. You start to feel negative, and because you're feeling negative, you get in a negative vibration, and everything that you attract to you by the law of attraction is going to be of like kind, which is negative. So the first step towards like success for everybody watching this video is you absolutely want to control your thoughts. You want to hold as much beautiful positive thoughts in your conscious mind with effort. At first it's going to be effort, but then it's going to be habitual. So you want to hold beautiful thoughts with your head in your conscious mind and feel good, so you can attract to you positive vibrations and things and circumstances.
Right, right. Guys, I'm having an awesome conversation. I want you guys, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and we will answer them. It's interesting when you spoke on law of attraction. Elaborate a little bit on that, please.
Law of attraction. For me, I used to think law of attraction was like magical, like you just snap your
Okay.
finger, like genies are in the air. But law of
Okay.
attraction is actually a law, just like the laws of gravity. Whatever goes up must come down. Is a law. For
Mm-hmm.
me, like the way I understand it is pretty much the law of cause and effect. And this is pretty much I think it was Emerson that said this. The law of laws, the law of cause and effect. Just like if you push somebody, right, the effect is that they fall down, cause and effect. So like the law of attraction is pretty much like what you put out to the world is what you get. So like that is the macro, right? But now to really understand this, right, you guys need to really, really, I suggest that you take notes because this is really, really beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
As you think in your conscious mind, your subconscious mind gets emotionally involved. And when your subconscious mind gets emotionally involved, your body is the instrument of the mind. So as your body, being the instruments of the mind, moves into vibration, moves to take action, you create a result. And as you take action, the universe reacts. So this is action. The universe reacts to your action, and that happens to your results. So this right here is the law of attraction. So now it's actually like, now it goes a little bit deeper. Now, when you're vibrating on a frequency, right, there are frequencies and we're all connected through vibrations. When you're vibrating on a frequency that is positive, because you're in a positive vibration and you're moving your actions are positive to create an idea that you're holding within your conscious mind. Every single person that you come in contact with, you're leaving them with the impression of increase and positivity. You're leaving them with beauty, with positive energy. So as you're leaving this positive energy, it's like you're just moving through life sharing these blessings. And it's really, really funny because as you're doing this, right, every single thing people that you come in contact with start to really fall in place to attract to you this thing that you desire, because you are on a positive energy and you're holding the end goal in your mind. So you're moving towards the direction. So your actions are attracting to you your goal.
Wow, wow, that was so well explained and so inspiring in itself. And you were so right on that because I was also watching your slides that you just posted earlier. Guys, do check out his page. It's amazing. His work is amazing. But before that, I was following Bob, and I was like, the paradigm shift, like you just explained, I never knew what it was. And then I was like, I think a certain way. When I looked at the page, I was like, okay, I think a certain way, and let's see if I change like they're saying, what will it change for me? And it was so amazing because, like you just explained, everything it just flipped. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so and I didn't just change my mindset. And like you teach and like Bob teaches, is you gotta believe. You gotta have faith that it's gonna work. And I did that. I said, okay, if I've believed so much in negativity and I didn't doubt it, I'm gonna do the exact opposite with the same intensity and see what results I get. And like you said, it was mind boggling because the opposite was as amazing as the ugly side was. So I was like, this is powerful. So everything starts right up here, like you say. So once you change that, you're going to project that, your body language, your frequency, everything is going to go with that vibration and frequency. Now, just before we went live, I was watching one of your videos where you were talking about the conscious and the subconscious mind. Please elaborate that for the audience, what kind of role they both play in every individual's life.
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. So the mind, right? First of all, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
ask a question for those of you guys who haven't seen Bob Proctor's content, or he's study him or watch my videos. What does the mind look like for you guys watching this video? What does the mind look like? You know, if I ask you to think about your car, you think about your car. If I ask you to think about the door of your house, it flashes on the screen of your mind. But now, if
Mm-hmm.
I say think about your mind, most likely you're going to get a picture of the brain. But you see, that's wrong. You see, because the
Okay.
mind is everywhere, the mind is infinite. The mind is in the tip of my finger, the mind is in the tip of my pinky, is in my eye. That's why if a person gets cut, they heal, because this is mind. Mind is energy, mind is everywhere. So, like, when we want to work with the mind, first of all, we have to know what the picture of the mind looks like. And guys, to get a clear picture of the mind, you can look at my Instagram just so you can get a vivid understanding. To get to work with the mind, you need to have a clear picture of the mind. And the mind is simply a circle, just like this. And in this circle, right, you
Mm-hmm.
have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind being at the top, right? At the top, and the subconscious mind at the bottom. So the conscious mind at the top, this is where you have the ability to reason. This is where you have the ability to think. This is your intellect. This is where you have the creative process. This is where you can think and imagine consciously. And your subconscious mind, being your emotional mind, this is where your self image is. This is where the thing that controls your results, your actions, your behaviors, the way you conduct yourself, the way you say hi, the way you walk, talk, sleep. This is
Okay.
everything that you do habitually is located. This is what is creating your results. So, guys, when you think 2 plus 2 is 4, this is a conscious thought. So, the way you walk, the way you talk, the amount of money you're earning, this is what your subconscious mind is programmed to give you in life. And I really hope that answered the question.
That's so amazing. It seems like most of the decisions need to be made through the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind needs to be in a better place so that we can manifest a better future.
Yeah, like this decision making is actually conscious, right? Decision making is
Okay.
conscious effort. But the thing is like if a person wants to make a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will only make a decision based on what their subconscious mind is programmed to give them because it knows no better. It's the comfort zone. So that's why
Okay.
when a person wants to become successful, they have resistance because their subconscious mind is like, what are you doing? We're getting out of our comfort zone here. That is not us. Okay. The subconscious mind is making decisions based on the comfort zone. So it's deciding based on what will keep the individual safe. That's why they have resistance. And Bob Proctor calls it he calls it the terror barrier. So when a person wants
Okay.
to, take risk to acquire more money, become successful, the conscious mind is fighting them and holding them back. So to acquire more success than what you have to start by changing your subconscious mind, the self-image. You have to create the image, the subconscious image of a person who earns a certain amount of money. Let's say your goal is 10 grand every month or $1 million a month. Create the image of a person who earns $1 million a month in the subconscious mind. So that way your actions and behavior will be of like kind of that nature. And then the results will start to show.
Okay. You make it sound so easy, but is it really that easy?
The only way, like it's that's a good question actually, right? It's easy and it's not easy. It's like the
Okay.
for change it's funny. I was reading a book today. I forget which book. I think it was Think and Grow Rich actually. And I was reading a book about when John F. Kennedy asked, "What would it take for us to send a man to the moon?" And the reply he simply got was the will to do it. You know, if you desire something, right, and you know that in order to get this thing that you desire, you have to become a new person. Now, the word here is desire. When you desire something, right, the only thing that is necessary to get there is the will to do it. So when you have the will to get there, you will do whatever it takes to get there. And that starts with changing your mind.
Hmm. Yes, that makes sense. And if we really look at ourselves, we do little things every day to get to those things, those desires. Like if I want to buy something and I don't have the money, I would start saving money to make sure that I can get that. So if you think like that, what you're saying is just again, it all just comes back to having more control over your thought process, right?
Yep,
Right.
100%. Yep.
All right. Okay. So now I want you for the audience, if they want to work with you, if they need your help, what are you going to offer for them?
So first of all, right, to be able to be coached by me through Bob Proctor's training program, there's like what's the word now? There's a qualification process.
Okay.
There's a qualification process. So it's if you guys are watching this video, you would like to watch the video. First of all, I want you to know my story so you can really get to know me because you guys don't really know me. I want you to know me, and you can do that by going to the website on my bio. It's manifestmillionstoday.net. Literally, help you manifest millions of dollars today.
All right.
manifestmillionstoday.net. And do I coach survivors from
Survivors of
narcissist
narcissist
abuse?
abuse.
I would have to know. I have to know your story exactly and know exactly what you want and where you want to be. That's a good question, actually. So yeah, go over to my website, manifestmillionstoday.net, and then that will there's a webinar with me and Bob Proctor over there that will help you guys as far as like uh, where you are right now, where you want to go, and where you need to be, what's holding you back. And I tell my story over there in depth because people don't really, they don't really know my story. So I tell my story over there. I tell people who have gone through this program a story about Kathleen, who was working a dead end job, working 9 to 5, and in just 6 months with this particular program, she took her income from 5 grand a month to 200 grand a month. So you see, these are jumps. So it's very possible. Like I said, once you change your mind, everything falls into place. So go to my website, guys. It's yeah.
So how does it work? So once they reach out to you, is there a time frame, and how does that work? Like the personal program, how does it work? Just a little bit more info for the people.
Oh, sure, sure. Good question. So the program itself is called Thinking into Results, and you can do some research about this. This program has been here for about 10 years now, and we've had individuals from every walks of life come in this
Mm,
program. We've had CEOs of companies, we've had entrepreneurs, we've had people who have gone from dead broke to literally becoming six figures entrepreneurs every month. A story about DeAndre Saxon, one of my friends. He was sleeping in his car about 6 months ago, went through the program. Right now, he is earning $200,000 every month just by changing his mind. So it's beautiful. The program itself is 6 months long, and what it does is that we don't just give you a course. That's not what it is. We give you a mentorship. What it is
mm,
Bob Proctor coaching you directly, and his information is being passed down from him to me being a vessel of information to me and giving it to you. And I don't really consider myself a coach, to be honest, just because I'm learning this stuff every day. I'm
mm,
also a student, so I'm kind of like just a big brother or a big brother in the industry. It's
mm,
because I've been here
mm.
a little bit longer, but I'm still a student.
Right. And so how's it like? Do you do once a week sessions, and how long are they for? Or is it like a program for 3 months or 6 months or
Yeah, so the program itself is 6 months, and it's two calls, one call a
Okay.
week, sorry. One call is a
Okay.
week. And it's the thing is that to change your mind, right? To be able to
Mm-hmm.
change your mind, you need repetition of an idea. So
Mm-hmm.
what it does is that it's just very short videos, like 10 to 15-minute long videos of Bob Proctor talking about specific topics that need to change in your paradigm. So as you're watching these videos on repeat, and as me being your coach, making sure that you're actually doing the work that you need to do to get your life where you want it to be, what is happening is that you're changing your subconscious mind unconsciously, if that makes sense. So you're changing your
Okay.
subconscious mind unconsciously, and then within 6 months, you're going to be different from where you are now.
Wow, wow. And what happens when the 6 months are over?
What like you have to set a bigger goal, because by then you would have
Oh,
accomplished your goal, set a bigger
mm,
goal, and repeat the process.
wow, wow. So basically the program will give you all the tools which you will take with yourself and use them for life to achieve a goal and then go for a higher goal, right?
Yes, yes. Because the thing is that, right, if you look at the mind, right, when a person is changing their self-image to get more success and they acquire that success, now the new success becomes the bondage. So now they have to
Okay.
set a newer self-image to get even more success. So it
Mm,
never ends. It's a continuous game of climbing. So the
mm,
program is everlasting. If a person thinks that they have learned enough, they're ignorant, because
mm,
knowledge doesn't end. You know, even
mm,
Bob Proctor, till today,
mm,
if you see Bob, he is always holding a book, always reading a
mm,
book. It's marvelous to me. It's just so beautiful. Like,
mm,
you really absolutely need to keep developing yourself every day. Bob once said that growth is inevitable, but
mm.
personal growth is a choice.
Wow, wow, that's strong. Wow, that's amazing. Um, my gosh, I feel so energized and feel so good talking to you. I've spoken to you before as well, and I know every time I talk to you, my energy goes, ooh, and I'm like running around like I want to do something now. So thank you so much for coming on board and giving me the opportunity to help people learn and come back to you and learn from you. Once we are done, guys, I did tag him before, but I will tag him with this conversation on my post. So you can head on to his page and connect with him and do search up Bob as well. Just a final message from you for the audience, please.
A final message is, wow, that's a good question. I want you guys to have goals, man. It's this was the one thing that actually changed everything in my life. If you picture a ship on water, 99% of the time, a ship has a destination to sail to. Once it leaves the port, it's arriving at a new port. And on this ship, there's a captain manning this ship, taking the ship to where it needs to go. We as humans, we're just as ships. If you don't have a place to go to, you're a ship moving without a rudder, or a car moving at 90 miles per hour without a steering wheel. Sooner or later, you will crash. That's why people, sorry about that. That's why people keep going through life, living a circle and crashing, because they don't have a goal taking them to where they need to go. So my final message in this video is that, guys, have a goal and make sure it's a goal that scares you and you don't know how to accomplish it, because that is
Oh,
what really gives purpose in life.
wow, wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much once again for coming on board and sharing so much of information with everyone. You take good care of yourself.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me. And you guys, you have a blessed day, man. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.